Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. You're listening to the Think Unbroken podcast, where our mission is to give you the tools to heal, overcome the past, get unstuck, and become the hero of your own story. I'm your host, Michael Unbroken, author, speaker, coach, and advocate for adult survivors of childhood trauma. It's our mission to end generational trauma in our lifetime through education and information. Thank you so much for being here, being a member of the Unbroken Nation, and learning how to become unbroken. Please do me a favor. It would mean the world to me if you take 30 seconds, leave a review for the show on iTunes so that other people can find this information, and check out our YouTube channel if you just search Think Unbroken. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in the show. How do you step into this place where you're willing to confront that and say, you know what, my message and my story is worth whatever comes along the backside of it?
Yeah, great question. I anticipated a lot more kind of scrutiny and pushback than I received, so that was kind of odd. Um, I think that leading up to it, actually the movie The Secret was one of my kind of initial seed planters of doing this film because it was a film that not particularly my documentary style, but I took these nuggets away that I applied instantly in my life, and within months, weeks, my life changed, and I was like, wow, it is all energy, and what we put out there, we do get back. And it just opened my eyes, and I applied it, and I was very empowered. And so, around the same time as watched The Secret, I started meditating. I was going to Agape, and I was listening to Michael Beckwith. I'm sure you know him. He teaching, and he was just empowering me. Like, we're co-creators with life, and if we get a calling in our heart, within every acorn is an oak tree. Within every dream is everything you need. To see that dream realized. So if you have a calling to be an actor, if you have a calling to be a poet, if you have a calling to be an astronaut, that means that life, nature, the universe, God, whatever you believe puts that calling there, uh, you have the ability to see it realized. So I was acting at the time, and I've been acting my whole life. I grew up in Southern California, and off and on, because it was, it's just a tough business. You're getting rejected all the time, and I actually initially started seeking out healers to like remove the blocks so I would be a better actor and just be freer and less self-conscious. And so, like around the same time, I started listening to Michael's teachings, practicing my gratitude work, and seeing, crazy manifestations occur, and just my life feeling better. And I really got these concepts that we are co-creators. And so, and then I started meditating at the time, so that really rooted everything down. So all of that to say, once I was ready to do the film, I just had complete trust that this calling in my heart. And the reason I brought up acting was because I started getting more excited talking about manifestation and healing and epigenetics, and we have so much more power than we've been led to believe, and this world of infinite possibility. I started lighting up talking about that, and less so talking about acting, something that I thought I wanted to pursue my entire life. And so I paid attention to that. And once I was ready to do the film, it took about 8 years marinating this idea and gathering more research and more experts. And once I was finally ready to do it, I was just like, God, take the wheel. You put this calling in my heart. It is very strong. So I'm just going to trust that it's all going to unfold. And I'm just going to say yes and keep moving forward, and let you take care of the hard stuff.
Hey, Unbroken Nation, we'll be right back to the show, but I wanted to let you know that you can grab a copy of my first book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma, for free. If you go to book.thinkunbroken.com, you can download the PDF ebook version of the book and get everything that I know about the baseline of healing trauma for free, downloaded to your email right now. Just go to book.thinkunbroken.com to download your copy of Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma for a PDF for your phone. Again, that is book.thinkunbroken.com. How do we help people step further into understanding that there is a part of this process involving reparenting and becoming comfortable with the fact that you do have this inner part of you, these wounds, these childhood trauma experiences that need compassion and care and hope and joy and love, but also you are an adult, so you have to find that balance. Like, how do you step into that conversation?
Right. It is a balance. And a lot of times adults have a really hard time because we seem to hit this threshold where there's now this message that we have to be adults, whatever that means, right? And it's like there's a lot of society messages, there's a lot of family messages. We have to do things, and that's true too. We have to do grown up things, but there's still that wounded child inside. There's still that hurt inside, that pain that gets tapped into from these adult things that we do. So, an argument with a partner, something going on with something at work, someone cuts you off on the freeway. All of these little things can be just tapped into. And to tell the adult person that, these reactions that you're having are coming from this place inside that now needs that healing, that needs you to turn towards and attend to. This child inside that we can turn toward and attend to. Like you said, there can be tremendous shame. I work with a lot of people that say very same thing, but I'm an adult. I have my own children. I've been married for 20 years. I'm a CEO of a company. Why would I go ahead and do inner child work? This doesn't make any sense to me. That was so long ago. And what that is that's the cut off. That's the protector part, the adult protector part that is saying, cut that off because it's so painful. Let that go. It's so painful. And so what I like to do and what I hope that the doodles do is to decrease the shame and to normalize that everybody who was raised by people have some kind of wound. No one comes out of childhood unscathed. No one. There's not my own children. There's not a person in the world that come through childhood unscathed because there's no perfect parent. And there really, it would really do us no good if there was, because this is how we learn too, is through the rupture and the repair. And so really it's normalizing that, we all have this. And when you start to feel it, that, it is okay to turn that compassion back inside, that warmth back inside.
How do you understand for yourself, and maybe this will be practical for people listening, how do you really kind of define and understand what it is that you want and your purpose and your why? What's that process like for you?
Well, I think what you just said there is so key and critical. You took a step back and you checked in with yourself, which so many people don't do, myself included. When I was working in corporate, I was in such a hamster wheel. I never stopped. Okay, the moments that I did stop and say, I really wish I didn't have to go on my job today. I really don't want to go take the bus and the trolley and all of these things. I don't want to answer the phone and have someone complain to me because I was working in human resources. So that's all I did was listen to people complain to me all day. Like, I didn't want to do any of that, but I would chalk it up as like, this is what people do. This is how I'm going to make money. This is how I'm going to pay my bills. And those are excuses. Those are excuses that we give ourselves so we can stay in our comfort zone. But you have to check in with yourself and be straight up and hold yourself accountable to, this is not the life that I want to be living. I don't want to wake up and do all of that stuff. What I would like to do, and I think that this is a very practical exercise that anyone tuning in right now can do, is actually write out what your perfect day looks like. Just start with one single day. If you woke up this morning, or if you could wake up tomorrow morning and script your day, who you're with, where you are, what time it is, what time of year, like what everything. What do you eat for breakfast? What happens after breakfast? What's the weather like? All of what surrounds you. What are you hearing? What are you seeing? What are you feeling? And if you can start scripting out what a perfect day looks like, then guess what? You can start to get what that would look like over a week, a month, a year. And not every single day is going to be perfect. The exercise is not to live in a world where every single thing happens exactly how you want it to, because that's not realistic and that will never be truth. However, if you can start to show yourself what your perfect day would look like, then you'll start to imagine and see for yourself what is important to you. Maybe what's most important to you is that you get to have breakfast and dinner with your family, and what happens in between there are, you doing self-care, taking care of your health and wellness, going and doing work in your community, whatever it might be. If you don't give yourself the time and the space to actually think about these kinds of things, then it will continue to be that hamster wheel of, I don't like this, but it's what everyone does. I don't want to do this, but I have to pay my bills. Like, you don't need to live your life that way. And the way to not live your life that way is to actually take a step back and start thinking about what your life should look like, what you want it to look like. And then that creates your why and your bigger purpose.
There's so much fear so much fear, and especially for women, because they have expectations way higher than anything a man, and I'm obviously not a woman, so I can't have that conversation.
Yeah.
But how do you navigate the fear of honoring your truth when society is just always standing here on top of you and saying, but you should be a better mother, but you should be a better wife, you should be this?
Yeah, it's funny because even when I was in LA, I was in an Uber and the guy was driving a minivan and I was like, "Oh, do you have children?" And then we got in the conversation. I was like, "Yeah, I have 2 little ones." And he's like, "Oh, how did you leave them at home?" And I was like, Don't ask me how, ask me why." Because my why is so much stronger than the how or the what. Like my why is because I want to make an impact. I want to show them what it looks like to have a mother that is fully alive and engaged. Like that will inspire them more than me being a martyr to my children. Because when I think about fear, I think that really fear is a lack of confidence, a lack of belief in ourselves that we can actually follow through. And what I mean by this is we live in such an extremist society where it almost gives us that messaging of just drop everything and move in the direction of your dreams and it'll all work out. But I really think that a lot of times we need to leverage the things that we're leaning on right now, leverage where we're at to move us and propel us forward. And sometimes forward looks so microscopically small. It's like inch by inch. And society doesn't love that. They don't recognize it. They don't see it. Think, Michael, if I was like, "Hey, Michael, you want to pull up a chair next to me? Let's go sit and watch this tree grow." The growth above the ground would be so boring. Nobody would watch it. But the growth underneath the ground is what is like spreading and strengthening that tree. And I think a lot of times when we have fear, it's mostly fear that we're not actually going to follow through. That why would this time be any different? Why would I be able to do it? And I believe how we overcome that is by these tiny actions that slowly build the muscle of our confidence. When you're a confident person, you show up entirely different. There's this line in my book that says, like, how we show up to our battles is directly linked to the type of warrior that we believe we are. And I think a lot of times we're showing up to life's battles and like looking over each shoulder and being like, "Not me. I'm not ready. Don't choose me. I can't go." And it's like, when we believe that we are a warrior that can overcome, that can be strategic, that can have ideas, that can pivot, that can change, that can evolve, that changes how we show up in every area of our life, from relationships to parenthood to entrepreneurship. And so fear, I really believe, is rooted in this lack of confidence, and confidence is built slowly over time. I think about the line, slow growth, deep roots. And I think that society doesn't honor that, but that's something that we need to start honoring and noticing and having this awareness for in our own lives.
Hey, Unbroken Nation, we'll be right back to the show, but I wanted to let you know that you can grab a copy of my first book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma, for free. If you go to book.thinkunbroken.com, you can download the PDF ebook version of the book and get everything that I know about the baseline of healing trauma for free, downloaded to your email right now. Just go to book.thinkunbroken.com to download your copy of Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma for a PDF for your phone. Again, that is book.thinkunbroken.com. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show, but I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.